Why evangelicals are still voting for Donald Trump. Let's watch this.
I was raised in...
Bro, this literally looks like the same fucking B-roll from the previous video. Is this the conservative town still? What are we looking at here?
Southern Baptist Church in South Alabama. And then pretty much followed that trend once I moved here.
So this is sort of the early days here, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
before everything went digital.
Before everything went digital. This is what remains.
God, every McMansion is so
For most of her
nasty.
life, Tammy Cook has been a devoted member of her conservative evangelical church. She raised her daughter Sarah the same way.
the church was a second
mean
home
rat?
for me.
That raised the
For
rat?
both of our children. I think some
That's
of
what she did.
our worst teenage battles were you do have to spend some time at home.
Was it a pretty conservative church?
Yes, very traditional Baptist, no drinking, no dancing, no gambling.
And that meant Cook was
No
also a
dancing.
devoted member of the Republican Party
Never forget
until Trump came along.
those moments.
She soon found herself at odds with her church community.
My catalyst when I left was during the Kavanaugh hearings. There were just so many. It had nothing to do with guilt, innocence, none of that. It had to do with the attack on women, the verbal attack by our president, and it was a trigger for a lot of women. And I was just in a really bad place, and I was driving to church one Sunday and just bawling, and I'm thinking, if only there were a place that we could all get together and comfort each other. I'm driving to church wishing there were a place I could seek comfort.
When Trump won his first election, many Democrats hoped that his character flaws would eventually turn away a lot of voters like Cook. Even a small drop in support could swing a state like Texas, where
Bro, evangelicals have completely dropped the fucking dropped the idea that like Trump is actually a good Christian, and now literally tell their congregations that you should vote for Donald Trump because he's going to enact your agenda. That's it. He might not be the best man, but at least he's got your agenda in mind.
Evangelicals make up a third of the voter base. But 4 years later, that hasn't happened. In 2016, Trump received 81% of the white evangelical vote. Today, that number remains virtually unchanged. Pastor Todd Wagner is the leader of Watermark, one of the biggest evangelical megachurches in Dallas.
We know there is one Lord, one God, one Father over all and in all. And when we learn to walk with Him and know Him and love Him, it changes our world.
I think there are some Democrats who look at Trump's behavior and they think, ooh, we got a chance to peel off some votes, some evangelical votes.
Put it this way, I think some of the evangelical votes that will peel off because they've seen some things they can't support, there's going to be other evangelicals that probably jump in because they go, wow, he did what he said he was going to do. So I think it'll probably even out. This president, almost more than any president in my lifetime, has done what he said he's going to do from a policy and a platform issue, certainly with his judicial nominees, his right to life stances, and other things that he said he was going to do.
Absolutely nothing happened to abortion rights. Hillary Clinton is still running around. The wall that he claimed he was going to build, he only built on pre-existing wall and or over territory that's like very difficult to traverse anyway. The only thing he fucking did was cut tax for the wealthy, which is good for this fucking guy, but he's a church guy, so he doesn't pay taxes anyway. Obamacare is still there.
P-word. Make that pullout game weak.
Like, none of the things that he said he was going to do for the fucking birds, he did. He's made you feel like he did. Mexico didn't pay for the fucking wall either. I mean, I guess, like, that's it. You know, he put the judges. Yeah, he put fucking a shitload of judges.
6 months, Poglove, you missed.
That's true.
3.
You know he's pandering, right?
Yes. Well, by pandering, I think all, unfortunately, politicians, right, pander because they want votes.
But I mean, he does this whole thing clearing out protesters in front of the White House and then stands in front of a church holding the Bible like a prop.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't look at that and think, this is a man who really stands with the Word of God. I mean, you know he doesn't really know what's inside that book, right?
I don't really care if a president walks across the street and holds up a Bible or takes an oath on a Bible. I want to see them governed by that Bible. Okay?
And have you seen that?
Nobody does that perfectly. This president certainly hasn't. And I really understand the tension that I would say serious believers experience.
Just fucking say it, dude. No one,
Whores
you're
in this
not
house.
fooling
There's some whores in this house.
anyone.
There's some whores in this house. What?
Just say it. He's doing the racism, and it's making my congregation feel better to know that like ICE agents are fucking raping Guatemalan immigrants in Long Island when they're in custody. Like that's what makes my church feel safe. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's at the heart of the fucking matter here. I need to know that undocumented immigrants who literally have done nothing, just worked in this country for 10, 15 years, are getting thrown in the fucking paddy wagon and slammed against the concrete by just simply for existing. And also, the homosexuals are getting punished a little bit. They should get punished more, but he's at least saying that he's going to punish them, making it so that doctors don't, treat them, or doctors that don't want to treat them in our congregation don't have to anymore. And he says he's going to do something about abortion.
Experience when they look at, okay, do I vote? I can't vote for this candidate because they have single issue disqualifiers. And then I vote for this candidate.
Israel, I fucking forgot. Literally, at the heart of the matter is Israel. Literally a single issue voter, pretty much.
Candidate who's done some things, maybe in terms of governance that I can support, but the person is so troubling.
But it sounds like as long as the Democrats are in support of abortion, there's no Republican, no matter what he does in his personal life, that might make you say,
okay, again, let's go back to that.
I'm going to vote for the Democrat.
When it comes to the rule of a governor, it's less important than the government and the laws that he wants to put into place. So for instance, God forbid that we would have a true racist in a position of control again in our country. Okay, but I would rather have a guy that individually has bigoted views, but he makes laws that lead to equity and justice for all, than I would a guy that personally would never.
When he says again, does he mean Obama? I hope he means Obama. I will lose my mind if he means Obama. That'd be so tight.
Or hold a slave, for instance, but then would say things like, well, who am I to tell other people whether or not they can hold slaves?
With all that said, worship is going to begin in just a few minutes.
That mindset has left voters like Tammy Cook as outliers, at least for now. She's still looking for a new church community to join, one that shares her values.
It is a very lonely feeling right now to be a Christian in the United States and not agree with where we're headed politically.
Gosh,
It's
I feel
very
like a goddamn
isolating.
Catholic.
But by and large, 4 years of Donald Trump, you don't feel like there's been a wave of people who are joining you.
Do I believe there are going to be those that say, no, I don't stand for that? You know, you hear a lot of, well, I don't like what he does, but, you know full well they're going to vote.
Everyone fucking dunking on this lady. You recognize that you probably, if you live in a fucking red state, like a deep red state surrounded by Trump supporters, psychos, you probably feel the same level of alienation that she does.
Without slavery, it was justified poggers.
So don't shit on her for at least opening her mind. Look, I don't give a fuck if you believe in a psychopathic, white jihad style, white Sharia style fucking religion that dictates that when the chosen sons and daughters of God take over the entire region, and Jesus will come back from the heavens, and you know everyone will get sucked up. All the evangelicals will get sucked up. Like, I don't give a fuck if that's what you want to believe in, okay? As long as you're a fucking nice person and you're not harming others, you're not harming others with your vote, you're not harming others, you're trying to better yourself, great. I don't care. There are nice evangelicals out there, I'm sure. They're not as tolerant as the American Muslim community, but hey, I'm sure there's nice ones out there. This one seems kind of nice. Whatever. Don't shit on them too much. There are plenty of lib churches in the country too. They just mostly are evangelical congregations. My preacher father is like King Lib.
You're such a big
Yeah.
man, Hasan.
One of my very good friends One of my very good friends, she's lesbian. Her father is a priest. I love him. They're all fucking huge libs, gigantic libs. Well, pastor, not a priest, or a reverend. I don't fucking know the distinction. I always forget.
For him again.
Yeah, Episcopalian.
Especially in the current environment that we're in. And usually around election times, you hear that all evangelicals are doing this.
Voting for Trump.
Yes, like voting for Trump, and not just voting for Trump, but acting like that's not even difficult to do. You know, there was this thing called the moral majority for a long time, that all they ever did is say character matters, character matters, character matters. And then all of a sudden out of nowhere in 2016, apparently character doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I did tell people, I said, listen, you know, I understand why you feel like you have to vote for Trump, but if you act like that's not difficult or there's not a problem or an inconsistency there, that's going to confuse the heck out of people.
Well, and some people would call it hypocrisy.
Absolutely. And so I think it's why.
I love that this video is literally what I just described to you guys in 3 seconds. What did I say before the video started? I said evangelicals dropped the pretext that like they even fucking think that Donald Trump is religious. They know that he's not. They don't give a fuck. All they care about are specific policy positions that Donald Trump claims to fucking advocate for. That's it. This is literally the pastor just basically describing that.
So many folks are just like so frustrated with these people that should first and primarily be evangelicals, who sometimes look like their first and primary calling is to be Republicans.
Let's put it this way. If abortion is an issue that's a unique disqualifier for you, is there any behavior from a Republican candidate for office that would make you vote for the Democrat?
Yeah, any Christian who doesn't say yes to that, and by the way, not necessarily vote for somebody else who does something evil, but to at least not vote for that person. A vote for righteousness is never a wasted vote. And I would tell all my friends who would go, I don't know if I could ever justify somebody voting for this candidate. I would say, hey, understand that there are a lot of people who might make that decision who are very troubled by it, but feel like their hands are tied. Man, you look at what's going on in our government right now, and I see people that are acting like children. I see a bunch of capriciousness, and I see oppression in the land. I see disunity, I see discord, and I would just tell you there's got to be a better way. Right now, there's 2 candidates from the 2 major parties, and the 2-party system has become a problem in our country. And I want them to know that there are a lot of people that are just as troubled as they are with the options.
I think the cynic in me says, you're just trying to clear the path for people to vote for the person they're going to vote for anyway. You know, all of this sort of hand-wringing about Trump. I mean, Trump represents the opposite of the moral majority, right? He represents, in so many ways, in his personal life and his behavior, so many of the opposite of the kind of values you espouse here.
Anybody who knows me knows I'm not trying to give anybody a path except anything but righteousness, all right? And I want people to be thoughtful.
Do you worry about Trump and just how divisive he is and how much of a complicating factor he is in his politics and his personal life? Do you worry about Trump creating some space for some people who are believers?
Absolutely. But that's not just a political problem. Politics is downstream of culture, and culture is supposed to be downstream from the church. Our problem is not Congress. The problem is the dead.
Bro, this motherfucker is an evangelical pastor, and he's saying like shit that Matt Drudge came up with. Like that goes to show you, like, that, or Breitbart, not even Matt Drudge, even fucking worse. Listen to me. What that guy just repeated, politics is downstream from culture, that is not an accident. Okay, first of all, it's basically the antithesis of what's his fucking face? Cultural hegemony. Like, it's Andrew Breitbart's quote. It is literally the opposite. No, it's not literally the Frankfurt School. It is the opposite of it's the opposite of Gramsci. Okay? It's pretty much the exact opposite of like materialist analysis of how culture works. Okay? Yeah, Marx and Gramsci. So it's also at the heart of like the frustrations Republicans feel, because they hold all power when it comes to like politics, when it comes to economic policy. America is deeply right-wing. Okay? So they already own that. which is why people like fucking Matt Drudge and Andrew Breitbart and Steve Bannon need to also win in the marketplace of culture when they've already won the policy part of it. So it's an idiotic take, but it's really weird that a pastor would put up a Breitbart quote is what I'm trying to say. Like, he's not as fucking honest as he claims to be, or he's not as like moral as he claims to be if he is repeating Andrew Breitbart quotes, a guy who literally died like fucking doing cocaine or from a cocaine overdose, okay? A Hollywood lib, like a Hollywood reactionary with a crippling coke addiction. I don't think you know how many religious people love Breitbart. Yeah, I do know. It's fucked up. Of course he voted for Trump. In regards to your preacher kid friend, Episcopalians call their preachers priests and they can get married. Yes, they can get married. They're explicitly not evangelical, though. In general, people call them preachers, though. I'm not religious, but just learned all this through osmosis as a kid, yeah. Due to the sin of pride? What? Dallas megachurch pastor steps away from the pulpit due to the sin of pride? What? No, get the fuck out of here. Don't think this is scandalous. What's scandalous is when the Christian plays with... Wait, what? Damn. That's fucking lame. He only has 11,000 weekly worshipers. Get at my fucking level, bitch. Get at my average concurrence, motherfucker. You see that, pastor? Even though when he's a megachurch founder, he makes like $7 gazillion a year. I'm a tiny Andy compared to this dude. Lol. Omega lol 11K Andy. Do you see Righteous Gemstones, the great representation of the megachurch industry? I have not watched it, but I hear great things about it. Bro, Hossie, will you be playing with Train? Bro, I will be, bro. I'm kidding. I don't know if I will be. I don't know why I said that. Oh, shit. What the fuck? Where the fuck is XQ? I'm ready.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm out of control. I apologize for that.
I know we elected a racist demagogue as president, but we almost made abortion illegal. So get screwed, lib. Enjoy the fascism.
Oh man, Moxie just joined. Okay. My Sunday school teacher told me, watch out for those kooky Jews. Is that what? What the fuck?
This is a deranged pervert.
Hi, chat.
Anyway. That's weekly. Yours is daily views. My dad is the CFO of a huge church. It's a gigantic lib. Most people who work for the church are bi-coastal libs with the followers are huge chuds. Yeah. True, but he doesn't have hate watchers. Yeah, can you imagine? He's got fucking like, I don't know, people from like the opposing church that's like, yo, fuck that guy. Wait, is this the right one? No. There's 11 people in this group and 10 people in the other. Did you pre-order your PS5? It's sold out already. No, I did not pre-order my PS5. Reddit atheist counter worship. Yeah, no atheists in the audience, dude. Trainwrecks is playing Among Us with the devs. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I was not invited to that. My dad has hate watchers that are like, I don't like the direction of this church anymore. Really? Fucking Coptics are brigading my Bible reading stream again. Them Orthodox Christians are coming over. I hate them Orthodox boys. We good Baptists around this part. Around these parts, brother. Fuck, I'm so hot. Anyway, Andrew Breitbart is in hell. Absolutely. If there is a fucking hell, I know for a fact that Ronald Reagan and Andrew Breitbart are absolutely in it. Okay? Abso-fucking-lutely, without a doubt. Pretty much most American presidents.
Feckless, undiscipled, unbiblical American church that has not produced a citizenry that would long for something better than what we currently are seeing. All laws are moral judgments. The question isn't, should we legislate morality? The question is, whose morality should we legislate?
We're going to follow you right back to
Ice Cube made 6 episodes of this crazy reality show in 2006 where he put a white family in blackface and a black family in whiteface. It's absolutely insane. What? You found it's not available anywhere online, but I got the DVD and uploaded the first episode. Can I do 5 other episodes? Send it to me. I will watch it off stream first. I feel like that shit might get me copy striked out of existence, dude. I feel like I play it fast and lose with a copy strike.
10 months boggers.
Usually. But I feel like this will be one thing. Like if it's fucking yeeted off the planet, if it's like yeeted out of existence, if it's yeeted out of oblivion, like me touching that might get me in trouble, like actually get me in trouble. Anyway. You can send me a link on the Discord. I'm a former evangelical. My pastor said we have to take back the Holy Land through war.